Why is it that there are people that have made a choice or a decision to be wealthy in life but still end up poor? Why is it that we have made a resolution to go to school, complete within 3 years or 3 years, 6 months, but for some people, not because of financial resources and other things, still fail academically? Is it their choice to fail? Why then? The answers to those two questions lie in the choices and the goals that we set. I'm sure it's a common goal for everyone here who is still in school to pass, isn't it? So, what is a choice?
Yeah, I think choice is something that you decide to do and you go on with it.
A choice is something that you decide to do and go on with it. Do we agree with that? That's fair enough, right? We are not asking for a definition from a dictionary. We are asking for the sense you make out of the word. So, before you make a choice, before you make a decision, there are certain fundamentals that you are supposed to look at, or there are certain prerequisites that you are supposed to make sure they are in place if your choice is to go as planned. If you've made a choice to be in school and to pass, there are certain things that you are supposed to look at if you are to pass according to your choice. Otherwise, one of my favorite authors, James Clear, in his book titled Atomic Habits, he says, both winners and losers have the same goal. What does that mean? We are all aiming for the best, but others are found down. So I would like you to understand that for every form of success that you make, there are certain laws that govern that type of success. If you deviate from those laws, you find yourself in the wider path of failing. And that's why certain people set goals but end up failing, because they don't obey the laws that govern what they are trying to succeed in. So what are some of the fundamentals that are necessary for when someone is making a choice? So I have grouped 3. 1, the short-term outcome. So for every decision that you make, it has the short outcome that we are normally aware of. And normally it's the one that we want. And we have no problem with that, most of us. Fundamental number 2, long-term outcome or long-term results. So beyond the short term that we are normally aware of, most of the times we are blind of the long-term result. So let's take the same example for the sake of continuity. Sometimes when you have a short-term reason for an important decision that will have other implications or other repercussions on a long run which you are not aware of, your life is likely to end up into misery because you didn't see them coming. And you made that choice. The fact that you made that choice, those things are going to come. So somebody wants a child. Question, is that child going to be a child forever? No. That child will eventually do what? Will eventually grow. The more a child grows, the more the responsibility, the more costly it becomes to take care of that child. Are you ready now to be able to take care of that child for almost the rest of your life? You find that somebody did not think through those lines. But the fact that they made a decision to have a child through what they wanted immediately, it doesn't stop the child from growing. And what will happen? This person will be depressed because they were not ready for that. So one of the factors under long-term consequences or outcomes is the foresight. We don't consider the potential outcome on a long run. And if we do that before, then you find that we would reserve ourselves from certain decisions because we've seen that we are not ready. Secondly, businesses, they do what they call, before they venture into a business, they do what they call feasibility study. Is what we want to do as a business feasible? So before they make a decision to venture into that business, they are going to do what? A feasibility study, where they are going to to go in detail to look at how possible this business is in this area and with the resources available. And from the data they come up with, they make the decision by making use of the information around. Question is, some of the decisions that we have made, some of the decisions that we want to make, some of the decisions that we make, do we subject them to a mini feasibility research? Most of the times, it's not like that. And hence, we suffer the consequences of ignorance. Somebody said, if you are not ready to pursue knowledge, then you are not safe from the consequences of ignorance, whether you like it or you don't. This leads us to the third aspect under short-term consequences, which is planning and information. Let us learn to make decisions that are data-oriented, not decisions that are self-oriented based on what we want to do. Let me be quick to mention this one. There is what we call subjectivity and objectivity. Objectivity is doing what needs to be done regardless of how it affects you. So if I need to deliver this baby at 01 and I'm not on duty, being objective means I'll wake up and go and deliver even when I'm not on duty. But being subjective is, one, I'm not on duty. I need my peaceful night. So it's about how you are feeling. It stops you from doing the right thing. And this is the challenge that we humans have. Mostly the decisions that we make are subjective to our feelings. So it's not necessarily what needs to be done. It's what benefits me. So if it doesn't benefit me instantly, then I would rather not make this decision or make the other decision, even when on a long run, it benefits you. An example is an investment. You know, real investment is painful. To remove money that you wanted to use for something because you are pushing into an investment, it's painful. So someone would decide to say, no, I'll just use this money for this, something that will instantly gratify them. And at the end of it, the business that they would have invested in would have, on a long run, it would have given them even more money than what they have used there. So what then is the problem? The problem is most of the times we make decisions that are subjective to our feelings and not decisions that are objective, which should be made. So my encouragement to you is, as you analyze certain things, as you make decisions, I almost said goals, we'll come to the goals later. As we make these decisions, know that you need to make these decisions by being objective and not subjective. Because the moment you are subjective, you are biased and it blinds you the common sense. Mostly we give good advice to people that we can't use ourselves. Is that true? Why? Because when we are involved, feelings are involved, we are being subjective. But when we are telling another person, we are not attached to that issue. So we will talk to them objectively and we'll give them perfect answers. Why don't we do it the other way? The same way we are able to be objective when we are talking to other people. Let us also be objective in our own things. Any question? You are where you are. Let me start like this. Beyond God's mercies. Beyond God's mercies and grace, you are where you are because of the decisions that you made or someone made for you or society made for you. There are times when you want to make a decision not because that's what we want, but because that is what's acceptable to the society we are in. And the actual thing that you want to do, you feel society will not accept you when you make that decision, even when it is what needs to be done at that time. So what are you going to do? You are forced to make a decision that you feel society will not question, that you feel society will not laugh at you, even when it's not your best decision. In that way, you have not made that decision. Society has made the decision for you. For some of us, a decision was made for us to come and study what we are studying, nursing. You probably wanted to go and be a teacher. Then they said, no, you are going to do nursing because it's not your pocket. what do? You need the education. You go there. That decision was made for you. But the question is, what did you do after the decision was made for you? Others have made their own decision to end up where they are today cautiously. You knew what you wanted to be. You wanted to be a nurse. You told your guardian, your parents, whoever is sponsoring you, I want to go and do nursing. You went and applied, you were admitted, and now you are here because of a decision that you made. Some of you here are on self-sponsorship. While you are in school, you have to find ways of making that money because of the decision that you made. So here is the thing. A decision is a mere theory in your head, and it will not yield any result if there is no action that is according to that decision. If there is no commitment that is according to that decision. So as much as you want to pass, as much as you want to clear, every choice and every decision that you make has action that is required. Besides the action also gives birth to commitment. Let's bring it home. You want to date this guy, you want to date this man, all right? So you make a choice as a man who you want to ask out, right? As a lady, you make a choice on who you want to accept. So you are both making decisions and choices there. The question is, what does the decision to start a relationship necessitate? One, it requires action. You need to act like you like this person. So when you make a decision of wanting to start a relationship with someone, then you don't act like you like this person. Is that decision going to be fulfilled? No. Okay, let's say they have accepted you, but you don't commit to that person. Is that going to work out? Regardless of the decision that you have made, if there is no action, there is no commitment, that decision is just in your head. It will not yield any result. You want to pass, you want to clear. You don't study, but you are in school. Are you going to clear? Are you going to pass? No. It means that decision you have made, that I want to pass, requires an action that is in line with that decision. And that action that we are talking about is nothing but study. The action that we are talking about being in relationship is, one, the person that you start a relationship with is going to expect you to communicate regularly. Or maybe today's relationships don't work without communication. I don't know. You can update me. It will require what? Communication. It will require what? Attention. What else? What else? Commitment itself. And what? People are saying money and respect and all that. In short, guys, this is what we are saying. The take-home message is, if you are to make any form of a serious decision, you must be ready to take action on that decision. You must also be ready to commit to that decision. Otherwise, you are lying to yourself. Unless somebody has a question, we can reserve the rest for the other time. I think looking at time, you have a question.
So now I have a question. So what consideration can you take upon making a choice?
Great. Beautiful question. Beautiful question. I'll re-echo it for the sake of others. What considerations can you make or put in place to ensure you have made the right decision? Have I paraphrased it correctly? That is the question. Anyone with answers? So, now the answers to this question are a full presentation that we are coming for again when setting goals. When you make a decision, you set a goal, say I want to work on this. What is it that you need to look out for so that you can be 80% sure if nothing comes up that this which I've decided will come to happen or will take place? So let's reserve that for after the recess, after the break. We'll attend to that efficiently. Is that fair?